The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
Tuesday, the 26th day of September 2023. Welcome to Bermuda's Daily Talk Show. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House, and Lindos. I'm Jamel Hartman, and Maya Palacio will be with us in a bit to bring you the latest in her news break brought to you by People's Pharmacy. It's Tuesday. You know what, folks? We forgot to mention that on Saturday, the 23rd of September, it began. It officially began. The best season of the year. Autumn, fall. It's so great. It's the best season so much. Like, it's so great that it has more than one name. Autumn and fall. It's not as boring as like it's just summer, it's just spring, it's just winter. But two names. You know what fall also represents? It's pumpkin season. Yes, pumpkin cookies, pumpkin donuts, pumpkin pie, pumpkin candy, pumpkin soup, pumpkin this, pumpkin that. You get my drift. I'm just so happy. It's pumpkin season. Fall is my favorite time. Libra. What's a Libra? Libra season. That's what fall represents? What's a Libra? Is that like the Virgo's Libra thing? Like that the sign things, what they call horoscopes. You know what I mean. Well, them too. We'll let you all have it too. Libras too. But yeah, it's fall, folks. The best season of the year is fall time. So happy fall, happy autumn to everyone. I think it's a bit too early to bring out the Uggs, Bermudians. Okay, I don't want to see you sweating in Uggs yet. I know how you all get. You think, oh, fall, and I could go bring out my heavy bubble coat and all. It's not that kind of party yet. All right, hold off. Let Mother Nature do her thing. No, that's not true, Laverne Tucker. I think you should Google that. It did not begin the 21st. Fall began on the 23rd, at least in these United States of America. It begins on September 23rd. Headleen Swan says, pumpkin laughter from Bruce and myself. So I guess you're pumpkin fans, right? What's your favorite pumpkin? Well, what is it? Give it to me. I went and swiped me some pumpkin cookies last week. So, oh, and I got pumpkin scones as well. Pumpkin scones. Yeah, so you give me pumpkin anything, I'll likely eat it. All right, folks. Greetings, everyone. Thanks for making us part of your daily routine. A good one today as we welcome Travis Trott. He's representing the Association of Bermuda International Companies, better known as ABIC. We're discussing International Business Week in Bermuda. So looking forward to the conversation. Today, the Daily Play is a Remember When. Yes, so a little bit of history. And as you can see, I have no partner today. And since I have no partner today, someone in the audience will be winning a prize. So stay tuned for the Daily Play to see if it's your chance to win a little something. All right. Don't forget to subscribe on our website, thedailyhour.com. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. All right. So let's just jump into it. Adeline Swan says it's pumpkin soup. All right. I know I mentioned pumpkin soup, but I'm not a soup person, so I never had it. Maybe I'll try it this year. So long, depends on who makes it. But if I can find some good pumpkin soup, I'll get in that. Folks, it's been busy. I know we said that we'll discuss the Olympic situation, but after that press conference yesterday with the premier of Bermuda, I think we should kind of just stick to that for now. So hold tight. There's a lot of other things, and we'll have time to discuss so many of the things that concern you. But this morning's questions, very straight to the point. If you're on our Instagram, you saw the story last night. What can we learn from the cyber attack on government systems? What can we learn from the cyber attack on government systems? That's your question of the morning. Yesterday, there was a press conference. I watched it twice. And the reason I watched it twice is I was trying to be very non-political in my perspective. I was trying to have an not be biased in my thought process as I listened to the premier give updates and take questions. I was left with more questions, and maybe that's fair. Maybe that's fair because, as Maya reminded me, at the end of the day, you're hacked. You can't say too much. You shouldn't say too much. You don't want hackers know what exactly they did, or how much damage they did, right? So you have to be very cautious and conscious. Which brings me back to, why would Premier Big Mouth go out there and say, who did it? That makes no sense to me. Why would you go and call whose name? I mean, maybe he misspoke. And if that's the case, then yesterday during the press conference would have been a perfect opportunity to say, you know what, maybe I misspoke. Let the investigation go through the proper channels now and da-da-da. But I'm not quite sure. Since July 2017, we've heard an apology from Premier David Burt. And I guarantee you, the day he leaves office, you probably will never hear one. You asked me that question, what can we learn from the cyber attack on government systems? I think there's a lot we can learn. But before I share, I'm going to go to the Instagram stories and let us know what your thoughts are as well, audience. So let's go to the Instagram stories and see what our folks on Instagram had to say. No, that's not it. So we asked the same question on Instagram. What can we learn from the cyber attack on government systems? And someone said, what we can learn is what can happen when cybersecurity isn't taken as seriously as it should be. Well, okay, all right. I don't know. I don't work in those spaces, but again, from the outside looking in, I guess this ridiculous response, and I'm being critical here, no matter what cybersecurity we have, everything can be hacked at any time, nothing to learn from. What stupidity is this idiot talking? I try not to do the name calling thing, but this has got to be one of the stupidest comments ever shared with us on our Instagram story. Nothing to learn from. Folks, if there's anything you ever take from me, take this. No matter what the situation is, whether it involves you or not, there's always a lesson to be learned. And if there's nothing that can be learned from it, either you know it all or know absolutely nothing at all. But there's always a lesson in something. Yeah, that comment bothered me, as you can tell. Another person says to the question, what can we learn from the cyber attack on government systems? Technology has its advantages, but it also has its disadvantages. Indeed. Another person says technology is advancing and so are criminals. Okay. And another person says that we either have wrong people in positions of leadership or the wrong politicians not listening to the experts. Interesting. Very interesting responses. What are your thoughts on those responses? And the question of the morning again, folks, is what can we learn from the cyber attack on government systems? Kelly Clark Medeiros says, invest in IT infrastructure and security. The lack of transparency is mind-boggling. So this was really where I was going with it. I think we definitely need to invest in our infrastructure. Um, Now, Bermuda's not alone. I don't want people thinking that, oh, well, it's because Bermuda's just dumb or just not good or our government's this or the public officers are that. If I'm not mistaken, the MGM brand just got hit and they were losing. One of the stories I read on one of the business websites, they were losing like close to $6 million a day. Now, what I would like to know from the government at this stage is how much money is the island losing? How much is Bermuda currently paying to fix this problem? What's the estimate that the taxpayers would have to cover? And what's being done to prevent this in the future? So, when the question's put out, what can we learn from these cyber attacks on government systems, is what are we doing to combat this in the future? What can we do? What is being done? Now, maybe you can't share that. Are we going to increase manpower? Is manpower the answer? What does investment in our IT infrastructure look like? You see, I'm no, fintech, crypto, Bitcoin, IT expert, but I'm not quite sure that we can, how can I put it? We can boast about being a fintech destination or a digital destination if our IT infrastructure is being hacked like this. I said it's MGM that was hit, and Anika DeShield says, and sees us. Audience, what can we learn from the recent cyber attacks on government systems? Ebony Souza says that we should have backup systems in place to avoid disruptions, even if that means reverting to old school. TCD not being able to operate has baffled me. I thought they were writing paper receipts down there. They're not operational. That's a shame. How's customs making out? Anybody know? I mean, one would think if the computers go down, we just go old school for a quick minute, right? I mean, paper receipts, handwriting makes sense to me. What are your thoughts, folks? What can we learn? What can we learn from the cyber attack on government systems? How can we better prepare for something like this happening in the future? Is there, I think something else that was asked during the press conference yesterday by the media, the premier mentioned that other jurisdictions were hit as well, but he refused to say which ones. I mean, that's fair. But you probably shouldn't have said that from the jump. You probably shouldn't have said, who was responsible as well. Yeah, I'm not saying that name. This is the internet. I don't need nobody showing up on my doorstep. I am not doing it. Ebony Souza says, regarding TCD, they are open for a few services. My 16-year-old wasn't able to get his license photo taken or printed. One sad teenager. So yeah, that is sad. What about people who need their license renewed? Like, is the government going to give them a pass? Like, if they got stopped on the road, are they going to say, you know what? No, the systems were down. Please, don't write this person a ticket. Like, I'm trying to think the contingency plans. What are the contingency plans? At this point, as the premier said, people are working around the clock, working hard to get systems back up to speed and going. But what's happening in the interim? What's the timeline look like? Is this so unprecedented that there is no timeline that they can put on it? I feel for that teenager. Turning 16 and getting your license is something in a teenager's life that they forever remember. I'll say this much. It will definitely be something to remember, not maybe a smiley day at the time, but in the future, you'll think back and say, I remember when we got hacked. I couldn't get my license and photoed like most people on my birthday or when I got my license. Polly Rich says, you don't really think they have a contingency plan? I don't get your question. Sean Speech Johnson says, I feel if it was them, it would have been made world news. Yeah, basically, if it was you know who he's talking about. Thank you for not saying the word. You know, we don't use profanity on this show. But, you know, going back to last week on Friday, we were talking about it. And what I tried to say to the audience then, and I'll say it again now, is it being them isn't necessarily out of this world. You know, they had aircraft registered in Bermuda, right? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter how big or small a country or jurisdiction is. It could really come down to, you know, Bermuda does play a key role in the IB space. We play a key role in certain sectors. So they know where money is. No, I'm not saying it was them, but it's I don't think it's as far out there as some people may be thinking. But as Sean Speech Johnson said, I mean, if it was you know who, you know, we're pretty sure it would have made world news, right? Renee Simmons says we should have been proactive rather than reactive. Strategic security measures should have already been put in place. This government always waits until something happens, then tries to band-aid it. I want to go back to Polly Rich. Do I really think they have a contingency plan? I get your question now. Normally, I would say, yeah, of course they do. But this bunch, I think the answer is in what Renee Simmons says. They're a reactive group. They're a reactive group. I think we have a lot of questions. And, you know, I think there were only two journalists there yesterday, Gary Foster Skelton and Jonathan Bell yesterday. But some questions that I don't believe were asked is, and maybe they were, and I was just so tuned out because I can't take the voice of Premier Burt at times. But how much is this cost in Bermuda? And a question was asked about ransom, which the public has to know, because it's the taxpayers' dollars. There were so many questions that need to be asked. I'll tell you what, and this is a message to Nia Talbot and her team at the Department of Communication and Information, said with respect. You work for the people of Bermuda. You work for every last taxpayer. And this message is to any journalist that is attending a press conference involving a politician that the Department of Communication and Information put together. If the public have questions of interest to their well-being, do not let those people tell you time is up. They are on our time, not their time. You are committing no crime and not trespassing to ask the questions that the public need to know. I am sick and tired of the dictatorial behavior of the public officers and the government of Bermuda when it comes to things of public information. So my challenge to the journalists in the room, do not go anywhere and stop allowing these folks to dictate to you, to tell you that your time is up. No, your time is not up. Because as soon as a rich dropped up Langton Hill, if that's where the governor is staying right now, they're all going to be on your doorstep wanting to answer questions. Bermuda. Every last Bermudian. When will you say to this premier and his subordinates Time's up. Come on. Have the courage. Journalists, own your space. Said with the most respect, own your space. All right, I'm done. Let's get to the Daily Hour News break. Don't forget, folks, we've got Travis Trott coming up. It's International Business Week. Looking forward to a great conversation with him. Maya Palacios got some stuff for us. Maybe we'll see what's so annoying about this press conference too.
Good morning. Good morning.
Greetings, Maya, madam. How are you?
I'm feeling still like yesterday, I guess. There's a lot of information coming in and just trying to digest it all and see where Bermuda's at right now.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. I mean, I'd like to be celebrating the latest football team a bit more, but some other stuff just keeps happening, right? From your perspective, I mean, do you have anything about like lessons we can learn from the system being hacked?
Honestly, Jamal, it's hard to say what lessons can be learned at this moment when we can't really know what's going on, truthfully. But hopefully, as I saw in some comments about the whole situation, that once this whole problem is solved, that it's relayed in some way that they can tell us exactly what happened step by step, and so other businesses on the island can make sure that they're not that they don't get something like this happening to them as well, and just so the people of Bermuda feel a little bit more reassured about what happened and how our government solved the issue.
Indeed. Yeah, hopefully we get some answers, Maya.
Yeah. Now I know that we're talking about. Good morning, everyone. This is the Daily Hour News brought to you by People's Pharmacy. Jamal always has me talking early, and I don't want to forget to say that. But I want to put up a video. It is a bit long, but it's of the press conference yesterday. Just the end point, if you never caught it. It is the Prima David Brett explaining his absence, and also a question that did come from Guy Foster Skeleton at the end, which we talked about a little bit as well. So let's just take a look at just the ending of this press conference. So those who did not see it gets kind of a glimpse as to what went on and why we can't really know too much. So let's go take a look.
In closing, please allow me to address the issue of my travel to Washington, D.C. on Thursday. Government leadership is not just about the moment, but also consistently having an eye on the future. The meetings that were confirmed in Washington, D.C. had taken, in some instances, months of engagement to secure. Direct interaction with key legislators and key members of their staff is difficult to secure at the best of times, and I determined that keeping those meetings, as well as discussions to advance foreign direct investment in Bermuda, was necessary. Make no mistake, though I may not have been physically present on island, Thursday and Friday and Saturday, those days were spent fully connected to the issues here at home. It may make for good political sport to paint this trip as something other than what it really was, but that should not overshadow the ongoing efforts by the government of Bermuda to address this very serious matter. Let me again commend the dedication of public officers, all of whom have worked throughout the weekend, and the support of our union partners, private sector, and local banks who are working with us so that we can continue to deliver services for the people of Bermuda. I again thank the public for their continued patience and understanding, and we will ensure that you are kept up on to date with the government's restoration efforts. Before I go to questions, it may be, as I said, political sports, but make no mistake, the government of Bermuda was attacked. Not the PLP, not anyone else. The government was attacked, and we are responding as a government. And I hope that we can make sure that we focus on the issues that matter to the people of Bermuda. Happy to take questions.
We'll start with Bermuda Broadcasting. Gary Foster-Skelton. Gary, the first question.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, Mr. Premier. Do you know if any of the personal data of residents has been breached or lost or sent elsewhere?
The investigation efforts are still ongoing, and it would not be wise for me to comment on any specifics at this time.
Would we read that as we don't know yet?
answer the question.
Can you confirm or deny if the cyber attack is ransomware, and has government been asked for money, and if so, how much?
Our focus is making sure that we get government systems up, running safely and securely. And that's where the focus of the government of Bermuda is currently.
So are you telling me that you will not tell us whether it's ransomware or not?
I've just answered the question.
That was not an answer to the question, but if government were asked to pay a ransom, who would make that call? Would that be the government or the governor?
I know that there's a whole lot of speculation. The focus of the government of Bermuda right now is getting our systems back up and running to restore public service.
I have nothing to say. Yeah.
Yep.
The audience knows what it is. They saw the same thing I just saw.
It was definitely, listening in, because I couldn't be there present, but like listening in, it was just a lot of, in one ear, out one ear. Like you couldn't really get the answers that you wanted to hear. Obviously, for like the premier did say, like it is sensitive information, but listening and watching and reading all the comments online, people are just like, I think it's important to know whether or not our own personal information is out there or not. Like, give us reassurance or let us know. But it's curious. It's curious to know what people would think.
Yeah, I think I don't think the institution that is the Bermuda Progressive Labor Party is bad for Bermuda. I think the Brett administration, the way that they respond to people who put them there, the people of Bermuda, is the problem. And I don't think his way of communicating effectively, like you just said, Maya, all he had to say is, it's extremely sensitive information over and over, and just say, repeat, at this time, it's not in our best interest to share it. But to act as if you answered the question that the journalist is asking comes across just very dictatorial. Like, that's what I answered it. This is the answer. Like, it's come on, man. Because it's I said yesterday we play politics, and I was not defending David Burt by any means, but I had no problem with him being away or going away. Like, what's he going to stay and do? I do have a problem with the job that he's doing overall. And if not, and I'll say this, I think every Bermudian should be concerned with the job that he's doing. Every Bermudian, because it's not good. And you know how things work. In 2009, when all these gang shootings started happening, that didn't start then. That started in the late 80s and the 90s. The problems that are being created today, we may not feel until another 10, 15 years. So we have to do something. And I know there may be some IB people listening today. Sir John Swan called people in the IB sector out. And he did that in the most respectful way. And a lot of people hit me up afterwards, right? But he was right. He was right. The country is relying on you, not from what you do professionally, but what you do socially. Your country needs you. If not, this is what we're going to be left with. Sorry, man.
It's okay. All right, moving on to my next set of news, and I repeat this as these are coming in quite often right now. A lot of stolen motorcycles on the island, a lot of people trying to flee the police at the moment. So lock your bikes, really secure them, and just listen to this report that just came from the police yesterday. But 2 suspected stolen motorcycles recovered in Sands Parish around 12:45 on Wednesday, September 23rd. So Wednesday, the 20th of September, police officers on mobile patrol along Long Bay Lane, Sands Parish, encountered 2 men wearing helmets with dark-colored visors, each riding a separate motorcycle. The officers' attention was drawn to one of the motorcycles, which had no license plate. Both riders were stopped by police, and they were being spoken to, abruptly rode off together on one of the motorcycles, abandoning the other. The 2 men were pursued, but eventually made good their escape in the Daniels Head Park, Sands Parish area. The suspected stolen motorcycle they abandoned on Long Bay Lane was recovered. The other suspected stolen motorcycle used to flee from police was later recovered in the School Crescent, Sands Parish area. Inquiries into this matter continue, and anyone with any information can please call 211.
Yeah, concerning. That was something that existed when I was a teen, but of course.
Yeah. This is something I've been repeating quite often on the show. If you tap in very regularly, like I repeated last year, I think I had 2 reports last week from stolen motorcycles being recovered, 3, I believe, and now 2 more here. And as you if you're very much on social media, you see the videos of people just taking bikes. So make sure you have yours locked up and secure, and do whatever you can to, keep your valuables. Next story on the list, the Honorable Tanae Furbert, Minister of Social Development and Seniors, delivered a ministerial statement to the House of Assembly on a plan to end homelessness for Bermuda. Let's listen into her plan here.
Recommended actions for ending homelessness are highlighted accordingly. A rapid end to rough sleeping and other forms of high-risk homelessness, a systematic approach to homelessness data and intervention monitoring, sufficient accessible social and affordable housing and welfare entitlements, citizen-centric coordinated service delivery, public policy reform and statutory rights and protection changes, public understanding and engagement, other holistic and system-wide reforms. The review of the work plan is near completion, and the action items in the plan will ultimately guide the progression of work to end homelessness in Bermuda. We look forward to sharing the work plan publicly and the collaborative work ahead.
So the day, October 10th, is meant to be a day we recognize homelessness. So hopefully on that day we get to hear more about, this plan and what they're trying to put through.
Yeah. I think it was the late Nelson Mandela who said that poverty is not an accident. It's not. And it's, whether we like it or not, it's all of our problems.
She went on even to say more in there that, like, it's, homelessness is not just what you see if somebody's just, out on the roads, but it's also people having to jump from homes to homes, friends' couches to friends' couches, things like that, that people are working so avidly just to survive and be able to live in, like, proper environments. It's the struggle to even just, have your own place. But yeah, so we'll keep up with that story as it continues. In other news, we have to talk about the WADA, the doping agency. But in a recent report, this one came from the Gazette, where it says Owen Darrell, the Minister of Youth, Culture and Sport, has said that he is fully confident that Bermuda's flag will be flying at the Pan American Games in Chile next month. The prospect of Bermuda's athletes walking into National Stadium in Santiago without a flag was raised after the Bermuda Sports Anti-Doping Authority was declared non-compliant by the World Anti-Doping Agency's Executive Board last week following the recommendation from its Compliance Review Committee. However, Minister Darrell has confirmed to the Gazette that he expects that the situation to be resolved shortly after the required documentation was recently submitted to the WADA. He says, quote, "I can confirm that the draft legislation was submitted prior to the WADA meeting last Friday," said Minister Darrell. "They have since, which came back with minor changes that they wish to be made. The requirement for the WADA was a draft legislation. Once we get the okay from WADA, the bill will go through the normal legislative process with the intention to be passed before the end of this year."
All right. Let's hope he's right. I'll leave it at that. Let's hope he's right.
That's hope he's right. I actually got to speak to a couple of athletes yesterday, and just the overall consensus to it is just that it's embarrassing. That's yeah.
I concur.
And next on the list, the OBA did announce that Douglas Dakota will be the candidate for constituency 25, and also that Dwayne Robinson will be the candidate for constituency 30. So that's what's up in the politics world right now today in terms of the OBA, and we got the by-election coming up very soon as well in October. So
congratulations to them both.
Yeah. And our weather for today looking like early clouds with showers or two, drier and brighter in the afternoon. So given very much fall in Bermuda time, and we have a high of 83 degrees.
All righty. Thank you for that, Maya. Days of the year. I mean, dumpling day. I'll leave it at that. It's dumpling day. I mean, I prefer Jamaican dumplings over like, the ones in Asia where they're all soggy and stuff like that. But it's dumpling day. You like dumplings, Maya?
I guess I'm with you on that because I do prefer the other dumplings. And I've really had the original ones, though, to be quite honest. And that was never like, never, which is crazy to say, but I've never had it. So I got to do that.
Yeah, your boy prefers a little fried dumpling. So don't invite me if you got this other kind, all right?
Which is probably not as healthy as the other kind.
All right, hey, look, it ain't about health sometimes. You got to enjoy a little fried something. Have once a month. Let's do once a month. Maya, thank you so much for that. Folks, don't go anywhere. We've got Travis Trott coming up. It's International Business Week. Very important conversation for all of us. So see you tomorrow, man.
See you tomorrow. Get ready, BAC Group of Companies will be having a huge clearance sale. Many products will be discounted by up to 75%. Mark your calendars because this deal will only be offered from September 28th to the 30th. That's Thursday, Friday, and Saturday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the BAC parking lot. Big discounts on vanities, toilets, AC units, light fixtures, and much more. You do not want to miss out. Discounts up to 75%. BAC parking lot, September 28th to the 30th. Be there and save big.
People's ACW, located at King Edward VII Memorial Hospital, carries over-the-counter medicines, toys, cards, and even toiletries. Our knowledgeable staff are there whether you're at emergency, visiting family, or a member of BHB staff, to show you our best even when you're feeling your worst. People's ACW, we're here for you.
Welcome to the new bulk store, Lindo's.
Her 70th birthday next month. Have you noticed her age is catching up with her?
Yeah. Plus, she's having a hard time getting up and around like she's used to. I would sure hate to see her fall.
At Medical House Limited, we can help make life situations easier. We have electric beds, motorized scooters, bath stools, walkers, you name it.
Mom's been real good to us. We'll get her birthday and Christmas gifts from Medical House.
Medical House has relocated next to the Dendytown Field, number 6 Bakery Lane, Pembroke. Telephone 292-3622.
Hey, welcome back to the big show. I'm Jamal Hartman. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House, Lindo's, and People's Pharmacy. Please don't forget to subscribe on our website, thedailyhour.com. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Without further ado, let's bring in our guest for the day. We've got Travis Trott coming on representing ABIC this morning. We're talking it's International Business Week in Bermuda, and as we all know, IB plays one of the most instrumental, if not the most important roles in Bermuda's local economy. So we'll be speaking about that, what International Business Week, the purpose, the theme, and some advice on what those who are considering moving into that space might need to know. Give us a warm TDH welcome to our guest for the morning, Travis Trott. Morning, sir. How are you?
Jamal, good. How are you?
I'm good. I had to tell them calm down. They were going crazy.
I like that.
First off, thanks for doing this. I tell people all the time, you know, it's one thing to get up early and do something that's part of your routine. It's another to come on and talk with people and strangers and just engage with them live. But let's jump right into it. Just tell us a bit about yourself, your background, and your journey in the IB space.
Of course. So my name's Travis Trott. I went to university in the UK in Bristol, where I received my accounting and finance degree. Once I returned to Bermuda, I worked at Deloitte, where I obtained my US CPA. And from there, I just moved into the insurance and reinsurance space. And now I'm working at Wilton Re as the senior finance manager.
Okay. What school did you go into in Bermuda before you left for the UK?
So depends how far you want to go back. So I went to Gilbert Institute for primary school and Warwick Academy for middle school and high school.
Okay, cool. Nice. Teo and Rajay went Work Academy. All right. So a lot of Work Academy on this show. So it's currently International Business Week. Just explain what the purpose of this week is.
Sure. So International Business Week, it's a partnership between ABIC, ABIR, BILTER, and the BDA. A lot of acronyms. So our aim for this week and beyond, because it doesn't just stop here, is to bring awareness of the impact international business has on the broader Bermuda community. So IB is a key economic driver. IB provides career opportunities, and IB is also committed to the community.
And folks, I don't ask this to be disrespectful, but and if you have any questions or comments, audience, please share them, and I'll do my best to get through as many as possible with Travis. But we hear the term international business all the time. Truthfully, not everyone understands what exactly it means or represents. Just explain what is an international business in Bermuda?
So, good question. I would put it in simple terms. An international business is any company that operates in more than one country is an international business, simply. So other words you might hear is a multinational entity. So it's just a company that operates in multiple entities or multiple countries.
It's that easy, but again, people ask what's considered IB, and don't ask who asks, but folks, people ask. So let's speak about the industries, because there are many businesses in Bermuda that have, domiciled, have locations in different space, operate globally. But what kind of industries make up Bermuda's international business sector? We all hear the term reinsurance and captive, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So yeah, reinsurance, captives, insurance. So a lot of I like to use the example of the hurricanes that we see in the world. So just like Hurricane Lee, the public face of recovery is insurance companies like your BF&M, your CG, your Friesenbrook, your Argus. And just like those clients, those insurance companies need to buy insurance to manage their risk. So they buy insurance from reinsurance companies. So that's, I guess, the business that's in Bermuda, the international business that's in Bermuda. We also have other international businesses like Bacardi that I'm sure everyone knows about. So yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's broader than people think. It's reinsurance and captive, but like you just said, Bacardi's headquartered in Bermuda since the 70s or late 60s.
But then I'll jump in also. So it's broader than those companies, but it's also broader on a job category kind of space. So it's not just your underwriters, your brokers, your actuaries. You also have marketing, you have your human resources, accounting, IT, facilities management. All these companies have different jobs and opportunities that people can get into the space of international business.
And let's speak about International Business Week. So this year's theme is international business is everybody's business, right?
Yeah.
What does this mean, and how is this true? Like how can there are people who are blue collar who don't know anything about the sector, but yet it's really the sector, if we're honest, that is holding Bermuda together as of late. But just explain what the theme means and how you hope to connect that with the average person in Bermuda.
Sure. So, like you said, international business is everybody's business. This year's campaign is mostly a digital marketing campaign. So we've had a press release. We're doing interviews on talk shows and radios. We've created a campaign with a single message that international business is committed to Bermuda. We provide stability, growth, and opportunities for Bermudians. There's also on the ABIC website, I think it's on the ABIC, Bilter, ABIR website and the BDA website, there's a video. It's called The Multiplier Effect. And I encourage everyone to watch this short video. So the message is that for every one guest worker that comes to Bermuda, about 1.33 new jobs are created. So simply for every 3 guest workers that come to Bermuda, 1 additional job is created. So if you think about it, take a step back. So when a guest worker comes to Bermuda, there's 1 more person renting an apartment. So you have your homeowners getting business there. 1 additional job is created. So they also need to buy a bike, a car. They need to buy groceries. They need to buy gas. They're eating at restaurants. So they're paying the salaries of all these people working in those businesses and ultimately causing those businesses to create more jobs. So this is how IB grows our economy. So I like that video because it gives a better perspective as to how international business helps Bermuda.
I love that. And I think that literally is probably the most perfect summarization of why it's everybody's business. Like, I think, simply it can help you at a gas station, keep you employed. More people going to get gas to fill up their car. Cashier job in a grocery store. More people have to go shop. There's more people, so there's going to be more people shopping. It is I don't want to say it's a ripple effect. I guess that's the best way to put it. It's definitely a ripple effect, and I think we have to explain this over and over, and we can't just be silent on it. So I'm glad that you guys are focusing on getting this out there this week. My hope is that we on this show at least can do our part to continue putting that in people's ears to ensure that they not only know it, but they feel the impact of the IB sector. So with IB Week, International Business Week this week, who's this week targeting? Who are we targeting? Young people, people who are a bit older, looking for a career shift?
So we have a wide target audience, but I'll break it up into 3 parts. So the first part is, I would say, ages 16 to 25. So this would be our youth or young adults. These would be people who are looking into career paths or scholarship programs available through international business. So these are like our next generation of international business employees. We're also targeting persons between ages 26 to 35. I'd say these people are career shifters, or so they likely have established careers, but maybe open to new opportunities in international business. And then lastly, on the target audiences, I would say this would be the population who may not understand the impact or the contribution of international business and how it powers the Bermuda economy. So wide range, but split into 3 distinct sections.
Indeed, and completely understand why it would be. I just want to go back a bit because I've been very vocal on this show, and this is not to make you feel uncomfortable or anyone. But diversity, equity, and inclusion has been a big thing, especially since 2020. I am located in South Florida, and I've been very vocal against DEI. As a Black man, been very vocal against it. I don't see how it benefits us long term outside of optics. But what is being done in this space to actually change things, like to empower people who normally wouldn't have opportunities? I remember listening to the House of Assembly many years ago when I used to want to get annoyed, and the only name they would call was a gentleman many of us have a lot of respect for, is Mr. Patrick Tannick. And it used to annoy me because I'm like, so one person makes it and does well, and that's what it is. It's like Tyler Perry and Oprah do great, so all of us can do it. We know it doesn't work like that. So from a DEI perspective, what's being done to ensure that we see 100 more Travis Trotts and not just one additional Travis Trott?
Very good question, and I'm glad you asked that. So ABIC continues to support the ACRE. So I'm not sure if the listeners have heard of ACRE. It's the Association for Corporate and Racial Equity. So they're an organization focused on enhancing the success in Bermuda's international business sector. So like you said, not creating one more Travis Trott, or 100 or maybe 500 more Travis Trotts. So also ABIC, ABIR, BILTER, they've jointly funded a DEI survey by a professional services firm. So, and the aim of this survey was for member companies to gauge and monitor their progress on DEI and provide with a toolkit of options so they can consider for their corporate strategies. The DEI committee has also participated in panel discussions for Black women in IB, advancing racial equity, inclusion in IB, employee well-being and mental health, and also the inclusion of LGBTQ+ employees. So there's a lot being done behind the scene. Hopefully we can change your mind. So just
my mind.
Hold off.
I say on this show all the time, my mind can be changed. It can be. I want to see the results. I want to see the results. I want to see more than optics. And so
well, there's one thing I could say. Let me just find the. Okay, so like I said, with the guest workers coming to Bermuda, you have 3 guest workers, 1 Bermuda job is created. So let me put that on the other side. So there's about 4,500 people working in IB, and around 60% of those are Bermudian. Not sure if you knew that. So that means there are approximately 2,700 Bermudians working in international business. So maybe that helps you in that aspect as well.
So I say this. I say I was at a DEI summit in August, and as I said in a room full of people then, I'll say it now, is what I'd like to see is I don't want to see more of us just in these spaces. I want to see more of us controlling these spaces. And so I think my mind would change when I see 100 more Patrick Tennecks as well. So that's my hope. I know that's not.
I hear you loud and clear. Yeah.
A step.
Yeah.
This is a step. We got a question from the audience. Michelle White, she's asking, I had missed the beginning, but what efforts are being made to introduce and expose the very young to seeing IB as a career choice if they are not fortunate enough to go to school abroad?
Very good question, Michelle. So ABIC AB or Builter, the BDA, we have been doing initiatives to make sure that children who aren't able to go to university for a degree in international business, giving them that opportunity. So we've been to schools, we've talked to kids at Cedar Bridge, Berkeley, some of the primary schools, even just putting that in their mind early so they know that those career opportunities are there. Also, I should have mentioned earlier that it's not necessary to go to university. I would say if you don't have the funds to go to university, there's also scholarships that can help you. If you're not fortunate to receive a scholarship, you can go to Bermuda College, just get a degree. An associate's degree would still put you on that right path to get a career in international business.
That's good to know. Mark Arthur C. Phillips, interesting question here. He says, with the introduction of AI, have you noticed a shift in the local IB marketplace?
It's a good question. I would say a shift. I'd say definitely IB is not only looking for just students who are in marketing, human resources, accounting. We're now starting to look for students who have different types of technical skills. So students that work with artificial intelligence, coding, engineering, data analysts. So there's a lot of different IT and data science that's happening now in international business, and we need employees who know that type of stuff. So I would say it's opening a whole realm of new job opportunities for sure.
Indeed, indeed. Changing world. Before you go, Travis, you know, there are so many people who, let's be honest, out of jobs, looking for new work. Some people have considered making a shift. I've seen quite a few people successfully make this switch to the IB sector on LinkedIn, which is my favorite social media platform. And I'm always encouraged. I smile because I want to see more of us in these spaces. Just having you here this morning is warming my heart to see a young brother in this space.
Thank you.
It really is. So what advice would you give to those considering making the shift, or even those considering a career in IB? What would you say to them?
My biggest thing would be networking. So like you said, you can update your resume, you can update your LinkedIn profile, but those are all virtual things. You need to also do some physical things like attend conferences and industry events that are held in Bermuda. And not just attend, but be proactive at those events. So find a mentor, follow their advice, ask for help, do what they tell you to do. These are people who are in these places in international business. They know what they're talking about. So just take on their advice and do what they advise you to do. And then once you do get into an international business, pay it forward. So help someone else, be someone else's mentor, bring them into IB. That's my advice.
Now, I absolutely love what he just said, folks. And I want to say this. You're never too old to get a coach or a mentor in this space. I know that Garita Coddington from KPMG has been on this show speaking about that, and Jamila Godwin as well. I absolutely appreciate what you just said as far as LinkedIn's great. It's virtual, though. We're not in 2020, 2021 anymore. The way I've been able to network, I started doing it earlier this year, calmed down as it got hotter in South Florida, but just go to different networking events, shake hands, get to know people in your space. If you want to get into IB, there's various events on island. Just ask someone that you know. Everyone knows someone who's in this space in Bermuda. It's just so small. Find a way. So thank you for that, Travis. Real quickly, if someone wanted to learn more about International Business Week or just the IB sector overall, just tell them where they can go.
Sure. So we have a landing page for this week. It's abic.bm/IB. And there you will find all the links to the different our member websites. So ABIC, Builter, ABIR, the BDA. You'd also see the video that I shared with you earlier about the multiplier effect. So that would be your one-stop shop.
Okay. Travis, thank you so much. This was a helpful conversation. Please don't be a stranger. We need to have more IB conversations. We haven't had some in quite a while. And we need to, I guess, galvanize Bermudian people to understand that even if you're not directly working in the sector, you can still benefit. So thank you so much, Travis, and all the best. Keep in touch. Let us know if there's anything we can do on our platform to keep pushing the work.
Thank you, Jamal. I appreciate it.
No problem. Travis Trott, folks, if you appreciated the conversation today, please give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Make sure that you share these conversations with your friends, your family, your colleagues. It was extremely helpful information. It can probably change someone, help someone. And one thing I want to say to people, don't look at IB, the sector, as intimidating. Look at it as an opportunity. You don't have to be a numbers person. You don't have to be great at math. As Travis said, there are so many different spaces, facilities, marketing. Think about it. Don't throw it away. Consider what opportunities exist that can give you the best opportunity to succeed in Bermuda. We're going to take our last break. We'll come back. We're going to do the daily play. So someone's going to win a prize. Whoever gets this answer correctly will win today's prize. And I'll wrap it up. So stick with us. Be right back after this message.
Get ready. BAC Group of Companies will be having a huge clearance sale. Many products will be discounted by up to 75%. Mark your calendars because this deal will only be offered from September 28th to the 30th. That's Thursday, Friday, and Saturday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the BAC parking lot. Big discounts on vanities, toilets, AC units, light fixtures, and much more. You do not want to miss out. Discounts up to 75%. BAC parking lot, September 28th to the 30th. Be there and save big.
Ordering from ER Fisheries has just gotten simpler. With just a few clicks of a button, you can place an order for next-day delivery or same-day pickup. Our ever-expanding list of offerings now include grocery pantry items, specialty meats, and bread and dairy items. We know things have been hard, and we're here to make planning for your next meal or party easy. Whether you're a vegetarian or a meat eater, we have what you're looking for. And best of all, it can be delivered to your door in 24 hours or less. Go to www.erfisheries.bm and check out our wide range of seafood, beef, lamb, pork, poultry, fruits, vegetables, and plant-based products, all available at reasonable prices. That's www.erfisheries.bm.
Welcome back. Thanks again to Travis Trott for the conversation this morning. Again, folks, please give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. If you appreciated today's conversation and discussion, you found it helpful, again, give us a thumbs up, a love, a like, whatever platform that you're on. Thanks again to the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House, Lindos, and People's Pharmacy for ensuring that we can do this with you on a daily basis. It's time for the Daily Play brought to you by Bermuda Trivia, now available at stores throughout Bermuda. Follow Bermuda Trivia on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Facebook to find out why it's Bermuda's favorite trivia game. All right. Today, it's a remember when. The first person to get the answer correctly on my screen will win a prize. All right. Who did entertainer and singer the legendary Michael Jackson marry in 1994? Well, we don't have the correct answer. We have a lot of close answers. I'm shocked that no one said her full name. We have Lisa Presley, which was first. We have Presley's daughter, which is interesting. We have Presley, interesting. Lisa Presley, Lisa Presley, Lisa Presley, Presley, Elvis's daughter, Priscilla Presley. I'm going to say no one gets the answer this morning because her full name and stage name, well, there we go, NTS. NTS, there you go. We'll give it to you. Lisa Marie Presley is her name. That's what she was known as. So, sorry, you said Lisa Presley. It was Lisa Marie Presley. Same person, but if this were Wheel of Fortune or Jeopardy, you wouldn't have got the answer, folks. Auntie Karen, you got it after. But NTS got it. So NTS, send us an email to engage@thedailyhour.com. You will get it. That was an interesting one. You all, and Headley and Swan laughing. Talking about Presley's daughter. My goodness. All right, folks, let's wrap it up. Good conversation this morning. But I want to say regarding the discussion, there are lessons to be learned. As Maya said, it's still early. A lot of details we don't know. But I will. What I just want to encourage all of us to do as Bermudians is understand that in everything there's something that we can take away and learn from and become better for it. Let this be one of those things. As far as the conversation with Travis Trott, I really appreciated it. I love these conversations about IB. I've never worked in the sector, but I would like to see in a majority Black country. Yes, I'm not apologetic. I would love to see more Black Bermudians running the IB sector. I would love to see us owning the IB sector. I would love to see that. That's what diversity, equity, and inclusion means to me. It's not just about being employed in that space. And I challenge, as Sir John Swan said earlier this year, I challenge those in the IB sector. I know the money's good, the life's good, but your country needs you in other spaces, in the social circles, political spaces. It's a slight sacrifice. And because you don't have the time for family reasons, work, whatever, or have no interest, we're stuck with what we have. So just consider that. But great conversation. And I would say, once again, to anyone who is looking for a career shift, there are so many different options in this space. Consider them. Thanks again to ABIC for the opportunity. All right. Oh, I have to give you a daily inspiration, don't I? Daily inspiration. Here we go. Let's give you a daily inspiration, folks. So a daily inspiration. You know what? Let's go with Coco Gauff, E.R. Fisher's daily inspiration for the day. She says it's crazy what support can do. People believe in you when you don't believe in yourself. That can really change the way a match goes. End quote. It can really change the way our lives go. Folks, please don't forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Thanks again to our partners, the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House, Lindos, and People's Pharmacy for ensuring that we're able to do this with you on a daily basis. As always, we appreciate you, we love you, and we thank you for making us part of your daily routine. If all goes well, we'll be back to do this again with you tomorrow. I'm Jamal Hartman. Please do make it a safe and a great day. I'm out. Peace.